Welcome to Let the Quran Speak. We're answering questions about Ramadan, and with me is Dr. Shabir. Dr. Shabir, the question is, at what age should children begin fasting?
Yeah, so Sophia, there is no clear indication about this. What is very clear is that fasting is an obligation on adult Muslims.
Okay.
So the question that spins off from that is that at what age does the child become adult? And this is not specified in the Quran. The Quran speaks about children reaching the age of marriage, for example, but doesn't say what that age is in terms of years. A hadith says that when a child is 10 years old, you should require that they pray. But does that mean automatically that children should be required to fast when they're 10 years old? Muslim scholars have looked at that and said, well, wait a minute, the two obligations are not the same because prayer is an activity that could easily be done by children. Fasting is more rigorous. It does not automatically translate that because the child should be praying at 10, the child should also be fasting at 10. Now, what exactly is the adult age then? Well, you know, in ancient times, people would have tried to think about when the children are ready for marriage. So, you know, a girl has her first menstrual period, and then they think, okay, maybe she's ready for marriage now. So they might think, okay, she's adult now. A boy may report that he had a wet dream, and they might say, okay, well, now it looks like he's ready for marriage. So it looks like he has transformed from being just an innocent kid to now into adulthood. But there is also a difference between the level of physical, biological development and the level of mental development. The Quran speaks about people like children growing up to achieve like rushd, which means a level of discernment, a type of intellectual development. So these are all gray areas. And what we can say for sure is that, for one thing, we should not have our children fast too early if medical experts advise against that.
Sure.
Because we're not dealing with an obligation here from God that will clash with medical information. In any case, there should be no clash, because even for an adult, if medics tell us that it'll be unhealthy for a certain individual given certain underlying conditions to fast, that individual has the option to feed a poor person instead of fasting. Or if one expects to get better, when one is healthy, one will fast an equal number of other days. So with children, because there is the gray area about when exactly they reach adulthood, this is even more, the leniency is even more possible. So we should follow the medical knowledge about this, and we should gradually introduce the children to fasting according to their age and their capacity. So when they're younger, maybe they just fast for a couple of hours. As they get older, we increase the number of hours almost with age, so that by the time they reach a level of development, both physically and intellectually, they can choose for themselves to fast as an obligation that they know is placed by God on adult Muslims. And of course, children want to play adults very early. So they want to say, yeah, I am grown up enough to do that. So if they're ready to do that and they can physically withstand the rigors of fasting, then, we shouldn't stand in their way, but we should give them every bit of encouragement.
Thank you for that, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
Tired of seeing how Muslims are depicted in media? You can help. Support Muslim Media Hub, the first of its kind to empower young Muslims to create content for film, TV, and social media. Visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com, and donate.